Hello YouTube, Go Wiggly here, and I am here to do a deck profile for you all. And the deck profile is on an Eradicator deck, and I'd like to give a little bit of a notice here. This deck is not complete. This deck is still in progress, still in work. I'm still testing it, I'm still play testing it, and I want to go creative, so this deck will probably be a little bit different than what you all want. So just bear with me on this, because I do love giving you guys creative ideas and creative decks, even though some of them may not work for you, but it works for me. So either way, onto the deck, and I'm still gonna tell you all, this deck's still in progress. I am still investing money into it, so you'll see the complete version when it's done. So either way, onto my trigger lineup. I run the original 8 crit, 4 draw. I prefer blue gem because it looks ridiculous, by the way. And then the 4 heal. That's my usual lineup for most decks, so I do prefer that. Alright, let me separate the grade 1s and the grade 2s for a little bit. Alright, so I am running the 4 sentinels. This is something I'm gonna invest into, is the Eradicator version. I gotta invest in those now, because now that I start getting this deck to work and everything, I need the newer ones. So that's one thing that's not done. I run Deadly Eradicator OE, because this deck is based on retiring and how much you can retire at that time. So I run 4 of this, and I know most of you are gonna probably suggest Shuki, and I do not run Shuki in this deck. I only have 1 Shuki. If I had 3 more, I'd definitely start running him. So I'm not going to run the 1 because the 1 isn't that effective yet. So I'm probably going to run this guy instead of Shuki, just because I like its ability to move to the soul and it doesn't waste your counter blast. And counter blast and Narukami are really heavy. So I am going to try to run Shuki, so just bear with me. I run 3 demolition dragons, not 4. I took out 1 for an extra grade 2, that way I can have my 12 grade 2s. But I do like demolition, it's that good guy. And I run this guy because I do run Gauntlet Buster, and the reason why I don't run the other guy is because, well, this deck builds up a soul really fast because of the retiring guys in this deck, and I might as well put the soul to use and do the soul blasting dude. And plus it's an extra 1,000. Sometimes the extra 1,000 will matter in the game, so that's why I decided to run him instead of the mother dude. Alright, now on to my grade 2 lineup. I run 4 Lawrence Force, and this is probably where some major complaints are going to come out, because Lawrence Force is a counter blast dude. And the thing is, though, I like him, but I'm definitely going to take some of him out for Sweeten, because I don't have him yet. I'm getting him tomorrow, so that's why you all know. I'll have a Sweeten, or not even 1, I'll have 4 Sweeten. And I'll probably, I don't know, I might want your recommendation on that. Should I run just 2 Lawrence Force and 2 Sweeten, or should I just run 4 Sweeten and take out all 4 of my Lawrence Forces? But I might try out both ways, you know, having all 4 Sweetens and having 2 Sweetens and 2 Lawrence Forces. Either way, I do like the Lawrence Force because you can do this as soon as you ride an Ignition Dragon. You can counter blast and get a guy off the field, so that makes their field less compatible with yours. Well, I'm not going to say compatible, but just less than yours, and you can get Ignition's effect off a little bit faster. And that does put quite a bit of a pressure on the guy. And I do run 4 Fiendish Sword Eradicator Child, and this is a pain to get, but I'm glad I got 4. And, well, sometimes I send Lawrence Force to the soul after I've already used the skill, so I don't waste any more counter blasts when I really want to, so I can always use Child and just get that effect off. That's what I use them for. I don't really need to explain much. And then this I don't even need to explain at all. 9 to 12, it's the most standard grade 2 you want. And my grade 3s is probably where something else is going to go crazy. I want 1 Descendant. Descendant is just there because, you know, most Eradicator decks do run Descendant. I do run 1 Sweep Command. This guy is retire power 2. He's retire heavy, and he does get a draw power. So draw power is always good. You always want that. And this is my player preference. I would rather run Sweep Command over another Descendant. I don't like Descendant that much, but I'm at least willing to run at least one copy of him. And then for Sweep Command, I just like him because he gets two abilities to where he can retire guys, and in case your Lynchu got dead because freaking everyone keeps guarding him, you might as well put Lynchu to use and put him in the soul for this guy's effect. Get one retire on the front row, then Counter Blast 2, Soul Blast 2, draw a card, get plus another 5,000 to this guy, and then you retire another front row, which is not bad. So instead of sacrificing Lynchu, you just sacrifice your Lynchu to get two rear guards basically retired at once. Now we run 3 Ignition Dragon because his Rake Ride is freaking nuts. You know, that Counter Blast 1 get plus 10,000 and your opponent chooses 2 rear guards to retire. If you combine that with Lawrence Force, you Counter Blasted 3, but that's 3 rear guards off the field. But it's also like when you first ride him and then you get that effect off, the Lawrence Force I meant, then you basically got a free rear guard, and then you might have a possible chance of getting that plus 2,000, I believe. Is that 2,000? Yeah, it's 2,000. And then for the final grade 3, we run 3 Gauntlet Buster Dragon, and Gauntlet Buster Dragon is your ace guy in the hole. And in case you like to be me and retire a lot, not when he's on the Vanguard, I'm going to tell you that right now, I'm not going to be that guy who constantly retires just to get the crit and then get perfect guarded. No, actually, what I do with this deck is I retire as soon as I get the chance, kinda. As soon as I get the chance to retire, I kind of take it because I want my opponent to waste their hand to either, one, replenish the field, or guarding me because of they don't want to take too much damage from me. And then when you, basically what I do is I usually camp with Ignition Dragon as a Vanguard for a while, and then, you know, keep going at with those heavy attacks, which eventually I'm thinking about trying the other guy besides the Mega Booster for Gauntlet Buster. I might try out the 10k booster where your opponent with that 3 damage and shit, and definitely force my opponent to waste guards. And then as soon as their hand is really low and I can actually predict that they don't have a perfect guard and not enough to block it, that's when I go for the Gauntlet Buster play. It barely happens, but it's happened a lot in Cardfight area, and people do get really angry because they have nothing against this, and they probably have a possible chance of getting hit by 3 crit alone, and then comes in a 4th because of a critical trigger or something. And then definitely right there, if they're at 5 damage, they ain't gonna win unless they miraculously pull 4 heal triggers out of their butt, and which by then usually they'll probably already have 1 heal trigger down the hole. But yeah, this is my deck, and I will heavily stress it right now, it's not complete, so bear with me. I do care that you guys comment on it right now and tell me what more do you think should be added. And I will admit, you guys will criticize my way of building my decks, but I prefer creative play. I don't like the net deck. I do for ideas, just to get a different viewpoint of what I really want to try out. And I did like a Gauntlet Buster Ignition little thing, even though I really should have thought of it myself. But I'll admit, sometimes I won't think of shit. So, but I've never seen Sweep Command run, that's why I'm running him. That's where my creativities went into this deck. I never really seen anyone run Sweep Command, so I decided to give him a shot. Alright guys, thank you for watching, and peace out.